Hi, my name's Lucas, and this is the Parkour Vaults. Today there's 3 vaults that we're going to look at. The very first one is a Kong. Second one's going to be a dash. And the third one's going to be a reverse vault. Parkour is a sport about efficiency for getting from point A to point B in as little time as possible, going over all obstacles in the way. Vaults are just one of the ways that we can get over top of the obstacles. For the very first vault, we're going to look at Kong. There's 2 things that we need to be physically prepared to do. One is jump, and the second one is be able to push with our hands. So Max here on the box is going to start off with pushing on his hands by lifting his bum up almost in a pressing action. 1, and we're going to do that 3 times. 2, 3. Perfect. The next one we're going to do is the jumping portion. So now we're combining that pushing action with a jump, and Max is going to jump up to a squat on. Hands still staying on the block. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is go one step further. Max is going to jump to the squat on position, then jump off the block, continuing on in a run. So jump up, land, and run off. Next, the athlete is going to go 2 steps into it, jump from hands, push, landing onto feet, then jump off into the run. Hands, push, to feet, jump, and run off. Once the gymnast feels a little bit more comfortable with that, we're now going to go on to only a 1-foot contact. So the gymnast is again going to start with 2 feet run, push from hands to only 1 foot on the block, and then continue on in his run. Up, 1 foot, and continue on to the run. Once the 1 foot feels comfortable, now the gymnast is going to completely miss the boxes, only using his hands. In order to make sure that we don't fall forwards, the gymnast's eyesight needs to be looking perfectly forwards at the wall ahead. So Max is going to go, just hands, push, and then running out. And that's the Kong. In our second vault, the dash, we're using a little bit of a lower surface. The dash is more commonly used to create efficiency over something small and lower to the ground. Our very first step in the dash, as Radek's going to demonstrate, is whatever foot we take off on the ground, if Radek takes off on his left foot, his left hand is going to go first on the block. So left foot, left hand, his right foot's going to go up, and just like a normal step, he's going to step all the way through to the other side on the carpet, and then continue his walk forwards. In this second step, once the gymnast has this down in slow motion, we're going to add a little bit of speed. So Radek's going to be at a faster walking pace, all the way forwards. Go ahead, Radek. Left hand, right foot, left foot. We're going to repeat the same process again, but this time a little bit faster at a jogging pace. Once we've met a jogging pace, now the gymnast is ready to actually miss the foot on the block. So Radek here is going to go a little bit faster. Only his left hand is going to place on the block, and then left foot will still step through, but without the right foot making contact. Awesome. The final step is going full speed and adding legs straight and a little bit more of a flared out action. And that's dash. The third and final vault is the reverse vault or reverse Kong. The very first stage of this is the gymnast is actually going to run, jump up to a squat position on the block. Perfect. Once in this position, the gymnast is then going to plant their hands flat on the blocks, kick their feet forwards, and run into a forwards action. Awesome. For the second stage of this vault, the gymnast is going to do the same thing but a little bit quicker, going through the squat position, landing, and then immediately kicking out into the forwards run. All the way up, and then kicking forwards and running out. Perfect. For the next stage in the reverse vault process, the gymnast is then going to run, miss their hands and feet, and land on their butt. From the butt position, then the hands can make contact and push forwards into the run. All the way up to the butt, and then hands push and into the run. I recommend only doing this on a soft surface that you have a mat to protect your butt. Once the gymnast has mastered this stage, where the feet are coming first through the vault, then the hands can start to make a little bit more contact, missing the bum, and being able to push directly into that run forwards. For the final stage of the reverse vault, the gymnast is going to add a little bit more speed and a little bit more amplitude to the legs to add a little bit more flair. And that's the reverse vault. On all 3 of these vaults, we have a very similar commonality of takeoff on 1 foot. As you can see, the gymnasts all push off of 1 foot, usually around half a meter to 1 meter away from the object that they're going over. This allows them to project up and forwards at about a 45-degree angle, clearing the object going over. The second part that we look at is the hand placement. In both the first and third vault, the Kong and reverse Kong, the gymnasts use two hands to place and push off of the box. One in front in a front support position, and the second one for reverse vault in a rear support position. In the dash, the gymnast uses one hand, either the left or the right, which matches the foot of takeoff. In the third and final part, the landing part, it's important in parkour not to lose momentum, so the gymnasts all need to run in a running phase out of this skill. So you can see in all three of these videos that the gymnast lands and continues full momentum forwards by landing one foot, then the other foot in that running pattern. Inspire Sports is really proud to offer parkour as one of its newest programs to the gym. The strictest definition of parkour to date is moving from point A to point B using the obstacles in your path to increase efficiency. Parkour is governed by the WFPF, which grants certification and training to gyms around the world to ensure quality and consistent training for all skills in parkour.